The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Oh man, yo, we gonna be talking about some shit today that where it might be stuff we need. It might be stuff like people need help and need some milk. People need to get patched up. People became champions. But all in all, we're gonna make sure we try to give y'all what y'all need each and every week. It's your boy, the man, that DJ named Ace 5, your mom's favorite fat guy, all the way from deepest, darkest Africa. And we're back with the newest episode of the Star 5. No need to get into the sponsors because we got the sponsor here, but we're gonna get to that brother in a minute. What up, TJ?
What up, fellas? Good to see y'all all here today. Been a good week, no complaints. I had a rough basketball session this morning. I ain't got the juice no more. I don't know what happened. I was just on E the whole morning. So I'm here, gonna try to struggle through and be as energetic as I possibly can. It's much more comfortable sitting here than running up and down the basketball court. I can tell you that right now. My knees are thanking me right now. So, I said I'll do this until my body says stop. It's telling me to chill today. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be chilling for the rest of the week. I ain't doing shit. But good to see you guys. Good to see the founder here today. And shout out to you, sir. And can't wait to hear what you got popping on. What up? Who was here? JG, what's going on?
What's good, everybody? Happy to be here today. Missed last week, got some fun topics for this week. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Big O, who actually is over in deepest, darkest Africa right now.
That's right.
With the Opaku clan out there in Ghana. And shout out to everybody. Shout out Jared for joining in, brother. I don't think I ever had the pleasure of meeting you yet. So
yeah, here we go.
So I appreciate you being on.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything, and that's what's up. I'm gonna toss it to the Commanders fan.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I've been chilling this week. WNBA has let me down, but it's okay. I'm cool with it. Yeah, they let me down this week, but I'm cool with it. I told y'all it was going to happen, and I'm glad that we have a guest because if he has been listening, maybe I can get somebody on my side because they've been ganging up on your boy a lot, and I'm maybe one time the guest will come in and like show me some support or something like that. And also, I was about to get on Dan for his vital mistake of having the Hooks Rub guy here with the W fucking thing, but he cleared it up. He fixed it real quick. So I don't know if you peeped it. But my man had the world going up there. Motherfucker be like,
Well, no, well. Again, I might drop that W thing because again, that's just a non-conversation for live. But it had the Hooks Rub logo in it, as we always give props to. Excuse me, our our affiliate and our actual sponsor, the homie Jared from Hooks Rub is with us. Normally, we don't say the names ahead of time. We allow them to introduce themselves, but I'm glad the brother was able to come through and show up today. You know, we've been down for shit most of my pod journey, at least a good 6 to 8 years by now. Um, you know what I'm saying? So the kid, the homie is definitely family to the show. Friend of mine, if you ever want to come to New York or whatever, you better reach out type shit. But what up, bro?
What's up, y'all? Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, owner of Hook Shrubs and Spices. My name is Jared. Yeah, the owner of Hook Shrubs and Spices, the founder, and then also one half of the hashtag Blackout podcast. Send love to my cousin Jay down in Texas. Yeah, man, we took a little hiatus on the podcast, for a minute. We'll be back at some point in time, so don't count us out there. But yeah, I definitely, appreciate you fellas at the starting five. All of y'all, however far away y'all are, as far as Africa or all the way back to the States. But yeah, man, really happy to be on. And thank y'all for your support. Yeah, it's been wild, but got some new stuff on the way, but really, excited to hop on with y'all today. So, yeah, the wife gave me permission. So,
So, couple questions for you because I know you. It's been a while since you've been on with us or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But first question: how is it to be the last black man in Utah, and
Man,
how has Utah been towards y'all?
woo, yeah, that's a good question. It's actually it's interesting
Wow.
because like everything has a season, right? So like you don't buy coats in the summertime, you buy them in the wintertime, right? So Utah has the season of black people, right? So when it's basketball season or football season for the for the colleges, any kind of sports season, that's when you see all the black people. No, I'm just playing. No, there's actually quite a few black people here. I go to a church that has all races there. Yeah, so I definitely see some brothers and sisters up in there. But yeah, man, it's interesting. Really, you I don't know. I think it's fine. Like I haven't really experienced a ton of racism or any kind of like prejudice or anything like that as an adult here. I've only lived here as an adult, these past 10 years. Wow. But my kids, when they were in like elementary school and then like in middle school a little bit, I know my son, did have some issues with some kids, here and really it's obviously based on how your parents are, but also based on the predominant religion in this state, which we're not a part of. If you're not a part of that
Right.
predominant religion, then at a certain age, you're sort of like, sort of ostracized or talked about weird. But
You're
also
the
there's like the
outcast. You're not
yeah,
one of
yeah.
them.
Yeah. But also there's like a counterculture, as well that is against that. But the good thing is, my kids, were born and grew up in Texas a little bit before we moved here. So, they learned, and we always teach them to treat everybody the same way, the right way, regardless of who you are, where you come from, what church you walk into or not. So yeah, so that's what they try to hold on to. And it's been a little difficult, I think, for my son. My daughter, she's just like, whatever, man. All her friends are cool. Never had an issue as far as I know, but my son did. But yeah, he's beyond that now. But no, man, Utah is all right. I'll tell you what, though, back home in Texas right now, it's probably like 95 degrees, at 12:30. And here in Utah, it's 45 degrees today when I got up to take a walk. So that is
Damn.
Yeah, it's like
cold.
50 something in New York right now.
Yeah, dang. That's
And
not. I like the weather when it's like this, like in this range. If it gets freezing, snowy, no, I'm good. If it gets too hot, I'm good. I like it right here in the middle. So yeah.
Let me ask you a question real quick. So
Yeah.
after that whole situation at the college,
Oh
was
yeah.
the temperature turned up a little bit, or how's it been
My
since that
neck and
happened?
my
Yeah.
neck and my back.
Yeah, right. That's a good question too, because um yeah, that's a good question. So like the local Facebook group, right? I guess in my town, which is about 30 minutes away from where that happened, right? So where that college is.
Mm-hmm.
Um you see in the local Facebook group, oh no, we're so sad, or if anybody needs support over what happened, here's some like therapy places you could reach out to, stuff like that. Um
Mm-hmm.
Overall in the town, like I sort of chilled at the house for a couple days, without going anywhere because I'm like, you know what? Excuse me, I ain't trying to be out there like that just in case they got some crazy
Right.
fools, because there's crazy fools. There's a person who lives like down the street a few blocks that we have to pass by their house anytime we leave and go, come and go from our house. Dude has American flags lining his yard and a big Trump, what do you call it? It's like Trump,
Wow.
F Biden, all the like Musk, all these people on the same flag, and it's a USA flag, which I believe is against the law to change the
It's a
flag. But hey,
desecration of the flag. Yeah.
but they don't
Yeah.
see that, right? Anyway, um, no, man, like there's people like that here, but overall, people are really, uh, people are really, understanding and open, but there's still that faction of people who aren't. It's interesting though that when it came out of who it was, um, and where he comes from, I've been to that
Mm-hmm.
area where he's been. It's a beautiful area down there, down southern Utah. But also, it's a place where there's not a lot of us, and there's not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
diversity unless it's people working in restaurants or like stuff like that.
The
Um,
help.
Mm-hmm.
The
yeah,
help.
yeah, yeah. So, but to find out the family of the person that committed that horrible crime, it was not surprising. But also, this is what's crazy. Also, all that stuff happened that day, right? That happened that day. But also, simultaneously, just a state over from here, there
Yep.
was a mass school shooting, which
School
Yep.
nobody
shooting.
really
Yeah.
heard about until hours
Oop.
later.
Yeah.
And it made me so sad
Yeah.
to see that. And I mean, I'm here for the kids. I always tell my kids, because they're both in high school now, I'd be telling them, just be safe out there. You see something weird, say something, hide, like just do what you can to make sure that you're safe and your friends are safe, in those scenarios.
So
Right.
So yeah.
so the and this is again a reminder for the people who haven't seen your face in a while. The creation of Hooks Rub, is this part inspired by actually bringing flavor to white people's Africa?
Man, you got me there. That's funny. And it's funny because it's kind of true. Yeah, so it's funny because I started I started Hooks Rub in Texas in 2014, because my daughter had severe food allergies. And I looked in the pantry and saw it was about 75% of the stuff in the pantry, including spices and sauces and things like that, that were not safe for her. And I'm the one who cooks at the house. I'm the one who grocery shops. I was making the kids baby food at that time, because they were babies, toddlers, whatever. So I was like, I just was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just try to make stuff from scratch and learn, some different flavor combos that are safe, that don't have all these allergens in them. And then, I worked at a really great restaurant. You have a location in New York called Del Frisco's. And
Yes.
My chef there, Chef Anthony Felly, he was like, I would always bring in samples of the food I would make, because I was also learning how to barbecue at the same time. Because you being from Texas, that's like a prerequisite for life. If you don't know how to barbecue and you're from
Yeah.
Texas, or if you don't know how to make like Tex-Mex anything, then you've failed your upbringing. But yeah, I was learning how to barbecue and bringing in some samples of the seasoning combinations and stuff. And the chef was like, Jared, you could actually turn this into a company. So, at that time I was like, you know what,
Oh,
I'll
that's
make it
awesome.
company. And my sort of like, I don't know, sort of like mission is to make, safe to eat, seasoning or sauces or whatever I eventually make is going to be safe, with the free of the top 9 allergens for anybody to eat that can enjoy it. Try to be as clean as possible. So yeah, that's why I started. And then we moved to Utah like a year later. And I was like, man, we're just gonna be there for a year, because my wife wanted to go to school to be an esthetician. And I was like, we'll be there a year, then we'll move back to Texas. Wrong, been there for 10 years. But when I got here, to your point, when I got here, I realized that Utah was like a food desert, for lack of a better term. And I mean, their biggest export of food is called fry sauce, which y'all probably made when you were 5 years old. Is basically ketchup and mayo mixed up. So
Oh, nah,
Oh my
that's it.
God.
no
Come
That's it.
mayo
on.
here.
Other than that, they
Oh
have
man.
green jello with carrots here. They have what they
What?
call funeral potatoes. Funeral potatoes are like the only thing that's good because essentially that's like scalloped potatoes or gratin potatoes, like cheesy potatoes.
Oh
But they
my
put like
God.
chips
You are
on.
truly in the heart of unseasoned,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, man, yeah. So
Funeral potatoes. I mean, the
I had to
potatoes
bring
are
it.
already dead when you cook them, so
Yeah, exactly.
they
Pretty
just
much.
double
Yeah,
double
yeah.
dead.
Yeah, yeah. No, but no, I
And
saw that opportunity and I was like, you know what? It is a food desert. I'm bringing like some real Texas flavor here from the South, like, all my heritage, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Um, I was like, you know what? Nobody else has that here, and that's what people, would give me feedback for. Nobody has a flavor, quite like me. So thank God that I was able to do that and be able to, turn it into something. And there's some other good food creators here as well, and food. What do you call it? Like I don't know, like just food companies. But a lot of us came from out of state.
Of course.
obviously, obviously.
So the mayo ketchup that Puerto Ricans will fit in just comfortably fine over there.
Pretty
Nah,
much.
man. That's
Yeah.
just like once he said mayo, and I was like, bro, he's in the heart of mayonnaise country. Like that's
Mhm.
Right.
that's all I got right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mayo was probably invented out there
The
because
the
that was
mayo the mayo is strong here. So what you're
yeah.
saying.
Yeah. When mayo is your base seasoning, you need help. Thank you,
Mhm.
Hooks Rub.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much,
Thank
pretty
you,
much.
Hooks Rub.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
man, it's wild, but no,
That's
it's fun though,
crazy.
man. It's fun though, but the greatest thing about it is, when people come up and then people come up to me multiple times, like if I'm at an event or a farmer's market, they're like, "Oh, I bought your stuff at the store," or "I got your stuff at one of the last farmers markets. I'm back for more." I love to see that. But what's really,
Yeah.
what I really love is like this lady I met the other day at a farmer's market last week. She came and she's like, I have a lot of allergies, and I think I was the only one that was doing seasoning at the market that day. She's like, I just need to know what's in all this stuff. I was like, well, what do you have? She's like, well, the worst one is pineapple. I was like, well, I can tell you ingredients and everything, and none of the things we have has pineapple. And I went through the thing. And then at the end of the day, I let her try a couple of things, and she's like, this is awesome. It makes me feel better. I'll go ahead and buy it, blah, blah, blah. It was like a little old lady. But, the good thing about that is
Nice.
like, a good thing about that is I know I'm helping at least one person that has to deal with something that like my daughter dealt with that I had to see her go to the hospital and have like seizures and all this stuff. So I'm happy that I'm able to help at least one in that. So that's
You filled the
that's
niche.
fun.
You filled
Yeah,
the
yeah,
niche,
yeah,
brother. You know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
I would
So
say I would suggest though, like you gotta push that harder.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I think that would also help take you to the next level. Like that box count behind you would be a lot less if you help.
yeah,
We'll try
yeah,
to help you push that a
yeah,
lot harder too. Because you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
for sure,
I
man.
mean,
Yeah,
a lot of people have food allergens and food
yeah,
allergies, and then they can clearly see. I mean, I obviously part because of U.S. standards that I'm sure within this administration are probably going to go away
yeah.
in some
You're
sort of
right.
respects,
You're right. Who
but
knows? Yeah,
the fact that you make it clear as day for everybody to see and hear and read, like
yeah,
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And
yeah,
again,
yeah,
his stuff is certified like very, very good, very, very good. I know
yeah,
I've been slow in. I need to actually order some more stuff because I
yeah,
always the midnight one is usually the one that lasts the longest, but then I
mhm,
eventually put that shit in everything. Like that
yeah.
becomes like my pepper when I have it.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, man, that's good. I appreciate that. I'll tell you a couple things. First of all, I already have Dan's mailing address, and I know all y'all live in different places. So if y'all if three of you other fellas just shoot me your email or your mailing address and an email in there. I want to make sure that I get you a bottle of the new stuff that I'm bringing out. But
Absolutely.
just so you have it, sooner than maybe, if Dan doesn't have a chance to get to the mailbox or something like that to ship it out or drop it to y'all. But another thing is I went to this grocery trade show in Vegas a couple weekends ago, and I like I said earlier, I came here from Texas, so at a certain point I leaned more into my Texas and barbecue roots rather than my the clean label allergen friendly roots. And I talked to several people there, and they're like, man, that's your gold mine right there. You need to tell your story about being clean, and you can mix in the southern and all the rest of that stuff as well. But to
Right.
this day and age, I guess when you go into a grocery store, especially like those like nice stores like a Trader
Whole
Joe's
Foods.
or a Whole Foods,
Yeah.
they want a brand with a story and a reason for somebody to buy it rather than just like a McCormick.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
have anything against
Yeah.
them, but that's like
Right.
everybody knows that. So like, what is their story? You don't know. But somebody like mine that started with for a specific reason. So that's what I started to learn, and that's what I'm trying to I don't know, build
That
out
is
more
your
right now.
pitch, sir.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is your
that's the
pitch
pitch.
right
Yeah,
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
and
So,
dude, when you got this guy out here who sounds like he has every disease possible,
mhm.
talking about Tylenol causes autism. Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to tell your story that like my seasoning don't cause none of this shit.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
all it
Exactly, exactly.
causes all it causes is flavor on the food
For
Yeah,
a
and
yeah,
second,
extra flavor for Tyrone's crow sandwiches.
well,
yeah.
for a second, I thought you were talking about me.
Yeah.
If you were talking about how people sound, I'd be like, is that me? Do I sound like
Nah,
that?
that's funny.
Nah.
Yeah, man. That's what's interesting. Yeah, I think with all of the misinformation that is being broadcast from I'm trying to measure my words, right? So with all the misinformation that being broadcast from a lot of different places, yes, you're right on it. I need to speak to that. I just what I also found at that grocery conference were like several marketing and advertising companies that could actually flesh out those things for me. So I'm gonna be working with them to basically tell that story
Nice.
where to be more accepting to everybody and not like I guess too extreme. You know what I mean? So yeah, man,
Right.
Be
it's
more
fun, but
inclusive. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So people will get it, and they won't think that I'm like trying to jump on one side or the other. But yeah, no, my seasoning does not cause any diseases other than being satisfied. So yeah, yeah. So it's all
Satisfied
good.
and possibly a little fatter.
Yep,
I
yep,
don't.
yep, yep.
I haven't supported as far as ordering, and that's not because it's because I don't cook.
That's awesome, man.
It's
I
all right,
don't
man.
cook. I'm one of those dudes that like I want to be as
Thank you.
far away from the kitchen as possible.
Mhm.
I've learned how to make a few things because I've had children. I had to help out with dinner, but for the most part, I ain't grilling, I ain't cooking,
It's
and
okay.
my wife's spice cabinet has like fucking like 1,500 bottles of spices in there, and I don't
Yeah,
know what none of the shit is. I don't touch it.
yeah.
So so I had to find other ways to support. So I've made a bunch of like promo commercials because my
I know.
mouth
I
is
heard them. They're cool.
and so I eat the crow sandwiches, and so now I've been putting hooks, rubs, and spices on all of my crow sandwiches,
Do
and,
it.
and
Get
that's
it the
how I
Aki
get
way.
Not the Aki way.
Somebody else.
Sure.
Oh, sure. No. Do you like sauce? Any
Uh,
kind of sauces?
I mean, I like everything, but it's just
Okay.
I ain't cooking it.
I'll tell you. So I got you. I got you. So yeah, I'll send you something and yeah, just slide it in your wife's spice cabinet. Pause, and then have her put it on some food. So,
Hey,
Huh?
that's not a pause. That's not a pause.
no
That's
pause.
what I'm saying, the brothers on this show are ridiculous, man. Now he just saying pause because he used to dance saying that shit. You know what I mean? It's just like
That's not a pause. That's not a
no, that's
pause.
not a
You're
pause.
supposed to slide it in your wife's.
Hold on. No, wait a minute.
Spice
Wait a
No
cabinet.
minute.
disrespect. No, nah, we
Wait
get
a minute.
disrespectful.
No
We get
disrespect.
Wait a
No
minute.
disrespect.
disrespectful.
It could be a pause though, because I'm thinking that the spice cabinet is the back door, because the front door
Oh
is
shit.
the
Oh Oh
Said
man.
no one ever. Said no one ever, my brother. Said
That's
no
funny.
one
Oh
ever, my
shit!
brother.
That's funny.
That is
That
wild.
is
Your man turn
that
your hat backwards.
that is not the seasoning.
Oh
I'm just
no, you don't
saying.
want that.
Oh
That's
shit!
hilarious.
No,
But while we laughing, let's just get it right into it because we brought another Giants fan on the
Oh
show.
yeah,
Y'all could laugh all y'all want. Go right ahead. Giants whooped on the Eagles this Thursday night,
yeah.
and you know what? For me, I'm just glad that this loss happened early in the season. Did I expect it? Absolutely not. Was I offended or affected? Absolutely not. Man, listen, speaking of Utah, we got beat by one of the whitest backfields in the league going today.
You're right.
Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. Like we got beat. But there's something in it that I'm gonna mention a little later. Because y'all got problems with that. Y'all got problems with that team. And the prop not that with the team, but with them too. And the problem is they run like they want CTE on every play.
Yes.
True.
I will not. I will not deny that. That's the first thing I said. Is like, I was like, yeah, old boy gonna get hurt, and the other one's gonna have a short career. And
Yeah.
I'm a big Cam Scadwell fan. I watched him at Arizona State. That
Mhm.
game last year, that playoff game, Arizona State, Texas, was ridiculous. That's the first time I actually saw that kid run.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, wouldn't it be dope if the Giants drafted that kid? And I had no idea he would be available and we'd be able to get him.
Yeah.
I was in the building that night. So my boy is an Eagles fan. He got me World Cup tickets for my birthday, so I got him Eagles tickets. I said, I'm not taking you to the link to watch Eagles. Fuck you.
Dope.
We can go watch it in MetLife.
He
So
said, "I'm gonna bring you where it's safe because I
Right
love
here.
you,
yeah,
brother."
yeah. So we riding on the train. The whole train is Eagles fans. The whole train coming up
Yeah.
from this area, Central and South Jersey. I'm in. Nothing but Eagles fans. Everybody pointing at me, go Birds. They doing the EAGLES chant on the train,
Oh man.
all that stuff. You get to the stadium is 65% Eagles fans. You know what I mean? Then we taking over, and they doing the Eagles chant up the escalator. And all I said was this. I said, that's cool. Y'all the champions. I respect it. I got dumb respect for them fucking Eagles. And you know what I'm saying? But I said, don't lose this game.
Mhm.
Don't lose. I said, this could be a letdown game. Let me tell you. And if anybody says any Giants fan went there and said they knew that we was gonna win that game, they lying to their fucking
No.
teeth.
No.
They lying. They lying. I
No.
fully expected to be double fisting beers 9 minutes into the game. You know what I'm saying? But watching that joint live and seeing what's going on, it's a different electricity. The kid's the truth. The quarterback's the truth.
Yeah.
What surprised me the most out of everything was the defense. And I don't want to be that dude that complains during the win, but if that defensive coordinator would actually let them blitz,
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
would
Yes.
actually let them blitz,
Oh my word. Yeah.
the Eagles would have scored 7 points and that's it. They are almost unblockable. He will not. We basically got another NASCAR package, and he will not dial up a heavy blitz. He won't do it, and it was pissing me
He
off,
don't
man.
trust his corners. He don't trust his corners, bro.
It
You want
pissed
you
me
want the
off.
Datsun package. He don't want the NASCAR. He want the Datsun
Word.
package.
Yeah.
So that was good. The quarterback he's good. He makes decisions. He got confidence, and you can see the difference already because when Russell Wilson came in for them 3 plays,
Oh my
it
God.
reminded us of
I was so
every
scared.
game this season. I was like, yo, just seeing it live, he need to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But no, they played a good game. I did not think it would turn out like that. The defense showed up. I saw a lot of folks, and I like to listen to WIP Philly just for the pleasure of watching their misery, but it's all good. But a lot of folks was killing Jalen Hurts. That wasn't Jalen Hurts' fault. How you throw for 290 yards and it's Jalen Hurts' fault?
That's not his fault.
And dude, and that's where it's no excuses. It's no excuses, and I didn't lean with none of that. We lost. We lost. We was down to offensive linemen. So what? What do I say each and every weekend? You're
Next
on
man
that
up.
53.
Yeah.
You're on that
Next
53
man
man
up.
roster. Next man
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, you
You
got to
know what I'm
play who's there.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
We were down Jalen Carter, which showed big in y'all run game,
Mhm.
but still, next man up. It is what it is. I see the problem that I see personally with my Eagles that is a blatant glaring. We are not the Super Bowl team of last year. This offensive play calling is just dry as fuck.
Mhm.
It's dry as fuck. But Jared, go ahead. I know
Oh
you was
man,
happy.
yeah, man. I was definitely happy. When the game started, I was coming back from like a work event, so I listened to like the first touchdown, the first Eagles drive, and the first touchdown that the Giants had when I was driving. I was like, hold on a second, we actually scored against the Eagles. Okay, let's go.
In the
But
first
yeah,
quarter.
yeah, in the first quarter. But yeah, exactly. First drive, first quarter. It's like the first time, I think this is the first time in I can't remember how many games the Giants scored on their first drive
Yes.
of like 3 games in a row, something like
3
that.
years
It
in a
was
row.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 14
But
years, man.
Yeah.
yeah, but I'll tell you this. I watched a lot of college football. I watched Dart and Scatterboo in college. I
Mhm.
didn't necessarily, have like a feeling one way or the other about us getting Dart in the draft. But because I think I wanted at that time I wanted Shador more
Same
than
here.
Dart at that time, right?
Yeah.
Same
But
here.
Yeah.
because I know he has a skill set. And yeah, we needed a culture change in that room, and I guess this was the culture change that we had, right? But I knew from watching him at Ole Miss that he was a very good player. He's sort of a gunslinger, and he's like a kid who doesn't give up. And then I watched Scatterboo so many times. I watched him earlier in the year though, last season when he was at Arizona. I can't remember who they played, Arizona State. I can't remember who they played, but I saw him run that game, and I was like, the Giants
Yeah.
need him. I was like, I
Mhm.
like Tyrone Tracy, but the Giants need that boy because he reminds me of like some of our backs from back in the day where they don't run scared, they run over people, and
Right.
and they dare you
Iron
to
Head
run over people,
Hayward.
but he could catch as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was happy when they got them. I was also happy that we picked up Russ because I knew that we needed a veteran in there. And that was before the draft, even. So I was like, whoever we draft that's a young guy, at least we'll have a couple veterans there, Russ and Jameis, to be able to sort of like help coach him up and teach him the standards, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Russ was going to be that bad though. Like I just did not see that coming. Um,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, that game the other day, I was so happy. Of course, I sent Dan a few memes. One of which a Giants guy is like playing golf and then he hits the ball and he hits a bird and he's like, "Is that bird okay?" And it was the Eagles, logo flying by. But no, man. But also, yeah, those kids, I love them. I love the juice that they're bringing. You could see it coming through the TV, right? But
Yeah.
but also they will have to learn to play more
Def-
controlled in certain scenarios because
yeah.
yeah, we don't want them to get hurt. We don't want them to get CTE, early. Even though Scatterboo, growing up running in the flagpoles, I mean, he might have it already. Uh, you know, but uh, but no, man, I was excited. I was happy to see that, and this is the first time I've had hope that we actually have a future, with you know the skeleton of this roster that we have right now and this team. I'm still not sure about the coach. I'm really sure that I don't like the D coordinator unless he decides to actually let his players play, the
Yeah,
game
man.
that they were drafted for. But yeah, man, this is the first time I feel like the Giants have any kind of hope in a long time. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So my day started. My boy texted me. He was like, "Yo, if you're not doing anything, come to the crib and watch the game tonight." I said, "Yes." As to Jamal's point, I said, "Let's go watch these dudes get slaughtered, right?" Because it's the New York Giants, and I mean, these last 3 games, they proved they can move the ball up and down the field. They just can't get it in the end zone, or the defense has let them down. Something always happens. 5 turnovers in one game.
Mhm.
Something ridiculous happens. So I was like, okay, we're moving the ball. This will be the penalty game where we get like 9 full starts, a couple of holdings, because we just can't get out of our own way. But to me, the way Dart played remind me of a young Russ because he was poised. He wasn't just looking to run anytime he got into trouble. He still was looking downfield. And off that
Eyes
first
downfield.
touchdown,
Yeah.
He had his eyes downfield, and that's what caused that first touchdown to Robinson. So I was like, oh shit, he really's not trying to run unless he has to run. But that running with a reckless abandon, it's got to stop, because he's gone to the tent way too many times now, and that's not a good look. And if Cam keeps running like this, he'll be out of the league in 3 years, because he just won't know how to put his socks on in the morning and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just not.
Yeah, it's true though.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. But I do like the way they. My favorite part was after the interception, mad Philly fans was just leaving in droves. They just scanned the crowd, and just dudes didn't want to be a part of it no more. That was awesome.
There, man. I was sitting in the middle of all them too, and they was vocal the whole game. They were like, "This is like a home game for us."
You're probably talking all kinds of stuff.
Listen,
oh man, they was going at it. But I was like,
Brian Burns is the real deal. 7 sacks. He's tied for the league lead in sacks right now. He is the real deal. Having that rookie Abdul Carter on the same side, when they both rush from the same side, you can't double team both those guys. Somebody's going to be open. And the maturity of Tavon Thibodeau, sealing the run on the edges has been tremendous this season.
He has turned into an incredible run defender.
Yeah, he's been great.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
His sack numbers aren't there, but the rest of his defense is insane.
The rest of his game is there. And then you got Lawrence, which I don't think he's back to 100% yet. He's still in the middle, but he's guaranteed to get double teamed on damn near every play. So that defense is solid. Like I said, this guy don't trust the corner. I don't trust our corners. Adebo was getting smoked the whole night. All right.
Yeah.
And even their announcers said it. Like, what happened to the RPO for this offense that the Eagles had? Force the defense to make a decision on who you going to tackle. You know, is Jalen going to be able to run free, or are you going to let Saquon run all over you? And they've gotten away from that. It seems. They've gotten away from that.
Production isn't there.
Which
is about half of
slower.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, which leads to Tyrone was claiming that the Eagles are falling. But when you said that, I had to go look at the standings, and we're still 4-2.
Yeah,
that part.
I said they falling.
I mean,
I said there's a chance that the Eagles could take the division, but there's a chance that the Cowboys could win the division. I said the Commanders were falling. That's the team that I said was going to fall, because I said that the Commanders got the other side of the coin on a lot of
my bad.
Teams,
you said the Eagles struggles. You said the Eagles struggles. You didn't say falling.
Here's the problem with the Eagles. I don't believe why everybody's jumping out the fucking window talking about, the Eagles ain't the same Eagles that won the championship last year. Yes, they are. Yes, y'all remember last season, beginning of the season, they was 2-2. People was talking about getting rid of Hurts. Maybe we should get rid of Hurts. Maybe Sirianni should be fired. This is the same Eagles. They start slow. They lose games they ain't supposed to lose. They start looking bad. They start arguing amongst each other, and then they win the fucking Super Bowl. Okay,
and that's the reason why I always attack Eagles Nation. That's why I attack them, because living here in the middle of that shit and listen to their media, they lose one game, they the worst team in the world, man. I watched that panel with Seth Joyner and Amy Fadul and Ron Jaworski and all them. They just be trashing them. I'm like, y'all are 4-2.
You're leading the division. Like,
and this is why I'm the realist that I am. Like I said on this person's TikTok the last game after we lost against the fucking Broncos. I was just like, it's one loss. We're going to lose more games this season. Calm down. But the problem, like I said, the problem that I see so far that is very, very clear is that offensive call playing, the offensive play calling. I said it backwards.
Anymore.
That's a big loss. And it's showing.
But all last season they talked about the offensive play calling. They talked about how Saquon gets the ball too much and you're not giving the ball to the receivers and AJ Brown's not getting the ball too much. And all. They talk about
But
the offensive play calling for the Eagles every single year.
but
Because if they run
Tyrone,
the
that's
ball
the
too much,
people.
they're running too much. If they throw the ball too much, they're throwing too much. That's all
Yeah,
they
That's the
talking.
they
that's the
won
people.
because of the
That's the
running.
people who, and that's the people who are the talking heads talking that shit.
Yeah,
The ones that
they're
don't count.
ridiculous.
The people that
Yeah.
don't count. We're having these conversations. It's fine, but it don't matter. And again, looking at it now, yeah, the play calling looked lopsided last year, but it all fucking worked.
Mhm.
This
Right.
year,
Right.
right now, even in the wins, now early, like I said, I felt the vibe of early 2000s Patriots, right? That's the vibe I still feel. But the game against the Giants, like it just looked like nothing worked. Like Jamal was in the building. He said Devontae Smith was wide open way
Man,
too much.
Mhm.
he was open most of that game, and the Giants cannot cover those Eagles crossing routes. I don't know why they didn't stick
Right.
with that. Them
I don't
crossing routes
understand
was destroying us. We have
Yeah.
nobody on defense that can handle Smith's twitchiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the
He
only
was
person getting the ball was Dallas Goddard
But
in those
Dallas
plays.
Gardner was wide open on every reception. There was
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah,
within 4 yards of him.
right.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It,
but
it,
yeah, we had no answer for him.
it
So
just
Why does that
seemed
matter
to
though?
me. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm asking why does that matter though? Because if you correct me if I'm wrong, Jalen threw for 283 yards.
yes,
So it wouldn't have changed the score for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he didn't throw to Smith who was open, but he still threw for 283 yards. That ain't nothing to laugh at in the game. So the 282 yards didn't mean nothing as far as the score is concerned. They lost. So I'm like,
No,
he
at
talk,
the end of the day, at the end of the game, it don't mean nothing because the points wouldn't put up on the board.
but
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying.
283 yards with 3 or 4
Yeah,
touchdowns, you're talking a totally different
no,
tune.
but no,
Yeah.
Right.
what I'm saying is, why are we discussing Hurts passing when he threw for 282 yards when he was throwing for 150 yards and Eagles was winning? It was
You know
fine.
why? You know
Well, we
why?
are
Because
not discussing that though.
But he throws for
they were like
283 and they lose, and all of a sudden Hurts
they
is
were
the
like
problem. Hurts passing
but
is the problem. 283 yards.
they
Yeah.
were saying that because the Eagles were like 2 for like 15 on third downs, man. It was ridiculous. Their third down conversion on Thursday night. The Giants went like, I don't
it
know,
was the
7 for
defense, man.
10. Yeah.
The Giants
They
That
defense got at Hurts was under a lot of pressure. He was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. That was the thing right there.
Burns was up in him, but people don't realize how close Kayvon Thibodeau and the push up the middle was collapsing that pocket. So Hurts was under a lot of duress, but the Eagles, they wasn't winning through Hurts's arm anyway last year. It was all in Saquon's running. And then
That's the
you had to
problem.
crowd the box because of Saquon,
Right.
and you crowd the box, and now you got Smith and what's the name running wild open.
Mhm.
So
That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
Brown. Yeah.
That's
it's just
the problem right
Saquon's
there.
production is down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's down.
Saquon was not a threat. He had like 3 big runs, I think, the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think
he
he had. I
wasn't
think he
really
ended
like
with like 73 yards or something like that rushing.
yeah, but he wasn't like a constant threat. And I think the Giants at some point in time realized that, and they're like, all right, cool. We'll just continue to get in Hurts' face because Saquon ain't gonna do nothing. Which makes me sad because
Yeah.
as a person who wanted Saquon to be on the Giants when they drafted him and all that stuff, I was just like, all right, cool. But I was happy in this game that he didn't do well.
What
But
was
yeah, man, they thought he
disappointing
wasn't a threat. So
what was disappointing was how much he was off the field during big downs.
mhm.
Like
Yeah.
Saquon's a capable receiver.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's a
Incredible
threat
receiver.
coming out the back room. Running, there were no wheel routes run. There were no like screens for
Yeah.
this man the entire game. I just
Oh,
didn't
Which is fine.
understand that.
They need to do
Yeah.
that again in 2 weeks as well. Do this.
Yeah.
Eagles have the same
Exactly.
game plan.
That's a tough order,
Overthrow,
man. We asking a
overthrow
lot.
AJ Brown again. Like do
So-
all
We
this
asking a lot
in 2
now.
weeks.
Go ahead, Tyrone, and then I'm gonna make my point.
The Eagles became predictable on those third downs, though. We knew they were going to pass. The Eagles usually have third because of Saquon's running. They usually have 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4.
Right.
Little
Two
small
push
third down
first
spreads.
down. Yes.
where they can run or pass. You never know what they was going to do. And you were scared because if they had a fourth down and they got the tush push, so even on the 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, they only had to gain 1 to 2 yards, and then it's tush push time. We all knew that.
Right.
But when you got Saquon not performing and the Eagles are in 3rd and 8, now we know what you're doing. And so the Giants just had their number a little bit on them 3rd downs because they knew that the Eagles were throwing and they knew that
So-
David wasn't handling the pressure well. That's
And
it.
dare I say it, Dan, is that the underlying issue is that their offensive line is not as dominant as it was last year.
It was.
The offensive, because as I stated in the beginning, our offensive line has
Injuries.
also been
Yeah.
damaged.
Yeah.
So
Which
why-
then in turn, it goes back to what I said earlier. I was letting y'all have the floor. You see me lay out, but I've mentioned the key thing that
French.
was kind of disregarded, but y'all actually answered.
Mhm.
The offensive coordinator isn't doing it. When you're making us consistently predictable on 3rd down, where's the play calling come from? Now, yes, I say it all the time. The point of the players is to make the coaches' calls work.
Mhm.
Right.
If they don't work, nigga, adjust.
right.
It didn't seem like shit. It seemed stagnant. It seemed like Tyrone just said, too predictable.
When
Too predictable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so where would we say that the problem lies outside of injured players?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
if you have a running back of the talent of Saquon and you do not have you're missing some people on your offensive line, your offensive line ain't performing, you got to get a guy like that in space. There was no sweeps. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's enough.
They was coming straight down the middle, and I'm like, you can't.
This
You
is
know?
and again, my simple statement sums all of this up. We gotta remove ourselves from some of this stagnant play on the offensive side of the ball. And it all starts with coaching. Yes, coaches put plays into effect that are always they're supposed to work. You're supposed to go perform. But you got to, as I was saying all night at work, because I had some things happen that I read and I reacted. You're supposed to read and react, coach and player. You're supposed to read what's going on and react, adjust, be able to make those adjustments on the fly. That game, and to be honest with you, it was mainly that one game we exposed that glaring issue. And again, coming off of a short week with injured players, no excuses. We fucking blew that game. We sucked ass. We lost. We
Yeah.
lost. We
Yeah.
lost. Bird gang, whatever. Yo, just hold the fucking L. Yes, it sucks because it happened from the Giants. Just hold the L. And now we got like a week and a half. We gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Niggas is acting like and people acting like the sky's falling. We're still at the top of the division.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
I
Now
mean,
I will say, yeah, and then Jared, you can go. I
you
will
good.
say, it had me questioning my pick of like, no, maybe I did pick correctly and think that the Commanders were going to win the division. But then I looked at the record and I'm like, we're still up.
Yeah.
There's no fucking panic.
Yeah.
There's no panic.
Yeah, there should be no panic. And this is one of those. This division is kind of like my college division last year, the Big 12. Like it was like there was like 8 teams at the end of the season with a chance to make it to the Big 12 championship. That's gonna be like this division, but it'll probably be more like 3 teams because who knows what the Giants really gonna look like. But then again, maybe they can come back with the new juice they have. But really, like what I'll say is this: a couple things. First of all, with the injuries, I mean, hey, we've been dealing with that for the past 10 years, right? We had a horrible offensive line, mainly because of, mostly injured people or just inadequate players, So you know what? Like you said earlier, you got to play who's in front of you. You're in the league, you got to play who's in front of you. It is what it is.
Jared, to win that game like we did with our 2 top receivers out was incredible.
Yeah. We hadn't seen anything like that in a long time.
Yeah, That was incredible because, I mean, imagine if Neighbors was healthy. Imagine if we did have Slayton. It might have been worse.
It could have been a different tune.
Wait.
He has
say-
weapons.
We
He's gonna be a
talking about
problem.
Eagles fans jumping out the window on the bad side, and now here you go on his show jumping out the window on the good side. Okay, y'all won, y'all big
Right?
ain't got no
Yeah, we
hope,
won the
right?
game.
Let's get in talk about, well, maybe we might you playoffs.
No, I ain't talking about no playoffs.
You said maybe they'll be in contendership in the division. That's playoffs there.
That's true. But then again, if you look at the way the rest of the teams in division playing, Dallas has no defense, right? So they can get beat or they can win any game.
Yeah, nobody.
You look at the division games, man.
Yeah,
this division is very evenly matched.
I mean, the only game that the Giants lost that they probably did not have a chance was the one game against the Redskins. The rest of them, they had a chance if they either if they had the right quarterback in, or if the defensive coordinator would have actually decided to blitz. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or
Eagles should have lost that game to the Cowboys.
So
the Cowboys blew that
games,
game against the Eagles.
Yeah,
the Giants should have beaten the Cowboys.
But what I'll say is this: Eagles, you know, while y'all are in your slump, I just think every single play y'all should do the tush push, because that is the most successful play for whatever reason. You ran it like 6 plays in a row against the Giants and scored a touchdown. That should be every play because nobody can stop it. Just do the tush push and just switch out the quarterback.
Can I say something? Can I say something to that play once again, and then we can move on?
Yeah, sorry.
Everybody from fan bases to coaches in the league to players in the league, you do understand that play is not exclusive to the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, it's not. It's not.
You bitches can do it too.
Y'all just the best at doing it.
Stop crying and get you a rugby player or two on that offensive line, and you can do it too. You know,
that's what it is.
I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of the tears about that play because you can't stop it.
No, bro. Teams don't want to do the tush push because it's a corny ass, nut ass, dumb ass play.
That works.
The tush push is bad, bro. Nobody really wants to do that shit, bro. That's why a lot of teams don't do it. Buffalo does it sometimes because Buffalo can use it sometimes, but nobody wants to do the fucking tush push, bro. Nobody, that play
You need the personnel for it, number one.
Dude, but here's the thing.
And it's big for real.
All right, but here's the thing about that play. It's just a modified quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Which was done in throughout the history of the fucking game. I'm sorry we just freaking perfected a damn rugby scrum into scoring.
No, because you can't compare it to a real quarterback sneak. Quarterback sneaks were used in critical 4th down situations or critical game time situations, but they need a short yardage or to stop the clock or get first down, something like that. To use it on a 4th down and 3 in the first quarter is fucking ignorant. It's ridiculous, bro. Nobody quarterback 3 in the first quarter on 4th and 3. Nobody does that. So saying it's a quarterback sneak is not.
4th and 3 at your own 10-yard line. 4th and 3 at your own 10 line. Tush push. First down.
I mentioned, and after we're definitely gonna move on after this because that was a little disrespectful to the New England Patriots. You know, some of y'all's GOAT quarterback. Those motherfuckers used to QB sneak from the fucking 50 all the time. In 4th downs, that was somewhat inconsequential. They just wanted to keep the ball. So what again?
Bill Belichick,
again. You hate it. You hate it because we made it famous. You hate it because you niggas can't stop it.
No.
You hate it because your fucking linebackers can't stay on side after fucking diving 8 plays in a row.
I hate it because it's boring.
Last year, that was horrible. I hate
it because it's boring ass football.
Because that was one of the funniest fucking plays set series ever. You got the official checking back like, all right now. Like he damn near said, all right now. We can just get them this touchdown.
They're going to legislate that play out the league because I think what they're going to do, they're going to start calling offsides on the O linemen because half them tush pushes, O linemen are offsides, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
I think that's how they're gonna get rid
Yeah.
of
The
it.
O
But
linemen are offsides. Yeah. Yeah. Or they jump.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's false starts. Yes,
False start. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
but
It's crazy.
from one group of winners to I watched the game, Tyrone, them Las Vegas Aces.
Mm.
Now I gotta say this though. I gotta say this about the WNBA game. I like the game. I do like the game. I love the women in the league. I love the women's game. Actually, I'm a more of a women's college basketball fan than any other basketball type of fan. The the one issue, and I don't want to shit on it. I want to get this out of the way as the one, and it's not even a negative. I think comebacks are hard to come by in the WNBA
Mhm.
because most teams, when they're up, they never really truly relinquish a lead. And that's what happened last night watching them Aces. They were up by like 10 or 11, and Phoenix just had zero answers, Tyrone.
No, the playoffs been built on comebacks for real. Like Aces was up big on the Fever and lost one of those games against the Fever. The Aces, the, they come back a lot. Phoenix was down 20 in the last series and came back to win one of their games. So the comebacks happen a lot. I was disappointed in the finals only because it's like after we had two 5-game series, one decided in overtime. After the playoffs, every team's been balling. To have a sweep in the finals is just like, damn, man. Like, I
Mhm.
wanted it to go 7. I wanted it to continue. I wanted it to be competitive as the playoffs have been. And it just wasn't, bro. It didn't hit that mark. And so that's what I was mad about. And even when the Aces took the lead, I was hoping for Phoenix to come back. I was hoping for them to make it a good game, maybe an overtime game or something, and it just didn't happen. So for me, it was kind of after having all these good playoff series to have the finals be an easy sweep sort of kind of. It was a little bit of a letdown for me.
So you hated domination, but you wanted High School Musical drama.
I don't like domination, man. I like to see good series. That's what keep people watching. Once my team is out, now if it's my team, yeah, dominate, bust their ass, because I don't want to take no chances. But once my
Yeah.
team is out, man, I want to see. I want every game to go 7. I want every series to go 7 games. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Right.
I yeah, man. It was funny because when I was in Vegas for that trade show, I think like the last full night we had they had I guess like a party for everybody that was at the trade show, and they had some band coming. This band called Neon Trees, and I was like, I don't know who the heck they are. I don't know about any of their songs. But also in the Mandalay Bay, that's where the Aces play. That's where their arena, the Michelob Arena or something like that. So I asked, I was like, hey, what's happening? Why are these people showing up? They're like, oh, the Aces, playoff game. I was like, oh, cool. So I looked up, I got a ticket for $26 in a great spot,
what?
by the way.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. It was
yeah, that's
they
nice.
What?
they have two levels there, but the second level might as well be the first level in a regular NBA arena. And I got like
Mm-hmm.
a ticket right at the front of the second level for $26. So I showed up, I watched the game. That was the first time I'd seen a WNBA game since the Comets, my girls with the Comets back with Cheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson, the
Yeah.
greatest WNBA franchise of all time that is no longer here. And those four championships in a row, baby. Go H-Town.
How
But
how
anyway,
you how
no.
you win all them championships and then just say
No.
fuck it, we closing up shop.
Yeah, no, I think because people really wasn't into it. I guess they couldn't sustain it, unfortunately. But I watched them play because I was like, you know what? I could pay $26 to go to this thing and not go to this stupid concert party thing. At least show up late to it, whatever. But then I could watch the current Michael Jordan of the league play against the Aaliyah Boston, and I guess Caitlin Clark was on the bench, because she was hurt. But still, I was like, this would be dope. So I went, I watched. The place was electric. That team, I was like, they went to overtime. That was game 5, right? So they went to overtime, end up winning to go to the championship. But yeah, man, I was like the electricity in this arena, the way these ladies play. I mean, it's outstanding. And I didn't see any other team beating them. I didn't know it was going to be a sweep in the finals. I thought that Phoenix would have some kind of punch, especially because they're geographical rivals. They're pretty close, Las Vegas and Phoenix.
Right.
But yeah, they wiped the floor with them pretty much.
Um,
So Yeah, I love the WNBA. It's just unfortunate that we don't have a team here, and then my comments are gone. So got to watch everybody else now, I guess.
So you had a good time while you was there watching it,
Oh
though.
yeah,
Like the
it was
atmosphere and
dope.
everything was.
Dope arena. Announcers were good. I mean, the crowd was hype. It was. I mean, it was just as fun as going to a good team playing the NBA. I've been to some of the Jazz games, and yeah, it's all right. It's fun, but I mean, it was almost like a college type atmosphere in
Okay.
that
College party
arena.
versus going to a Mormon church.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. I haven't been to one of those because they don't let you in unless you're one of them. But nah, it's probably like that. Probably like Mayo versus hot
Mayo
sauce.
versus Hooks Rub. Mayo
Right,
versus
exactly,
Hooks Rub.
exactly.
But they still shot themselves in the foot. Like they constantly shoot themselves in the foot. They had $6 tickets for these NBA finals, and the $6 seats were empty. And I'm just like people in that city should just be like, hey, it's only $6. I don't understand why families can't say, hey, we can go to a WNBA finals
Yeah.
game for $6. Get
Yeah.
the kids up and let's go. So for those $6 seats in the WNBA finals games to be empty, I was disgusted by that.
Yeah,
$6, bro.
that's
They ain't
true.
work.
That's
But here's
true, especially you have. I mean, you have Las Vegas. They only have well, they have the Raiders, I guess, and they have
The
the
Golden
Knights, right?
Knights.
The Golden Knights, right? They weren't playing. I don't think they were playing any of those days. But the Raiders and the Golden Knights arena and stadium are all within a very short walking distance, less than a half-mile
Yeah.
radius away from where the WNBA plays. So it's not like, oh, I can't go because it's like on the outskirts of town. It's like right there, right?
Right.
And then I can't remember where the Phoenix ladies play. But yeah, I mean, the Cardinals weren't playing during the week, right? And they're horrible. The baseball team out of the playoffs. So really, what's your excuse? You want to go out and bake in 115-degree weather in the desert? I don't know. I'd spend $6 for my family, or at least for me and my daughter to
Of
go.
course.
And
Of course.
but they shot themselves in the foot again because let's just say this. So Nafisa Carter makes those statements, and then at the finals presentation, the general manager, the woman gets booed. Negativity. Also, the negative thing. They put out the first team and second team players, and they left Aaliyah Boston off for the second team to put on Paige Beckers on the second team players. That was a mistake, and to do that right before the finals caused the problem and caused the issue and put a negative spin on what they was doing to leave Aaliyah Boston out and have Paige Beckers. And people were talking negatively about that. And then Kelsey Plum does a podcast during the finals where she talks about how she was underappreciated and she didn't enjoy her time playing with Las Vegas, and that's why she wanted to get traded and leave, and that put a negativity on the finals. So once again, when we had the finals happening, we had three negative things going on at the same time where it's like, come on, they constantly shooting themselves in the foot with the negativity, and they're giving people negative things to say when positive things are happening, bro. I'm tired of that.
I think you have to pay attention to them to pick up those negatives because I didn't hear none of that, and I'm just being dead honest. Your statement about the commissioner getting booed, Adam Silver gets booed, Roger Goodell gets fucking booed
Always
all
get
the way
booed,
out the
dude.
fucking arena.
Yeah.
Dude,
That happens. That
Even on
happens to
draft day.
all league commissioners.
that doesn't make
Exactly.
a difference when we're talking about Roger Goodell or the NBA. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But for the WNBA, you trying to keep everything to go positive. The NBA, nobody gives a fuck about the commissioners. Nobody gives a fuck about the commissioners. Nobody cares about Goodell. They boo him. It's the NFL.
Wow.
They don't care.
I think the point is nobody cares about her either.
I think she's
That's why
not
he
a
gets
very
booed.
popular human being.
She's
So-
never been booed before. They booing her now because of what Collier said. That's why
But
she's
we
booed right now.
as every time we talk WNBA, we rehash the conversation from last week.
No, that's
But
what it is. I'm just
but
saying.
was she wrong is the thing. No.
That's not my point.
So
I'm just saying that
get
at the
get
time
get to
there
booing.
was more negative things that happened during the WNBA finals. Just like
But
Kelsey Plum Your team,
But see,
the Vegas Aces is in the finals, and you go on a podcast and talk shit on that team at
Yeah.
that time. Like, that's crazy.
And you're the
well, see,
best. You're
here's
the
the
best. You're one of the best players on the best team, in the league. I guess there
was
is definitely a
was.
time and place. Well, yeah, it was right. There's definitely a time and place for that conversation to be had, and it's not at that time. I get what you mean on that one.
But once again, I'll repeat: we can't dictate when somebody expresses their feelings on their lived experience.
Mhm.
This
Then number two, I guess it goes by your timelines or it goes by what you want to bring up because I started off this thing bringing up the positive in the Aces winning. You just brought it back. You just brought back the negative.
here's here's my point that I'm making. Right, these women are women that's in this league that were asking for more money, that were saying that they were going to be unified, that they were standing up for unity, that they're standing with each other, and then they're all doing things that's tearing down the positivity of what's happening. Kelsey Plum
So
could have did that interview at any time,
pause.
bro.
So pause. TJ Jamal, do you see the point that I'm actually trying to make in what I'm saying right now, right? You see the point that I'm trying to make? If you're talking about
Yeah.
people tearing down the league,
No, this is the same
then
discussion.
Tyrone,
This is the
why?
same
I mean,
discussion we had last week.
it's discussion points, but it's not necessary to bring up if we're trying to talk about the positivity of the Aces winning a championship.
Let me ask you a question. So TJ,
Yeah.
I'll ask you.
I get it.
If your team
Mhm.
that you used to play for, that you was disgruntled in playing for, that we never heard about the disgruntled, we heard you ask for a trade, we never knew why. You never said nothing about it. You played for another team. You had a great career. You had a great season for another team. They didn't make the playoffs or whatever. Now your former team goes all the way to the championship and is set to sweep the championship. And that's when you decide to do a podcast and talk shit about that team and hate on them and tell them how disgruntled and how hurt you were at that moment. And you telling me is that a proper time to do that? That's all I'm saying. That's not. That was an
It
improper
don't.
time to do that.
So
It's my
so
former
again,
team. It's my former
it's
team. I could
it's
care
her
less
lived
at this point.
experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She did that at any time though. She could have did that before the season.
And she did.
During
This
the
was her
season.
time. You just said any time.
Dude, y'all acting like she didn't
So
hate. That's hate, bro.
no, okay,
That's
that's all right, all right, all right, all right. You're missing my point again. That's hate. But we were talking about the Aces winning. And who brought up the negativity?
because that's
Regardless of all the
my
talk.
problem. That's my problem. Is that we
But
should
you're
be
at
celebrating and we're not.
but
Y'all.
no, stop, brother. Stop for a second. We should be celebrating. We started the conversation trying to celebrate the
Yes,
Aces. You delivered the negativity
yes,
in
because
saying that
y'all.
but the point I'm trying to make is if you don't deliver the negativity, we could be
Bro,
celebrating the positive.
no,
That's the
bro, because
point.
I'm not
That's the
on
only
this show.
point I'm trying to make.
Bro, I did all my celebrating the positive. When I post all my shit, I post all the positive shit. I
Oh,
did
but
all that. This show ain't that. This show ain't that. You know this show ain't that. We come on here to speak for real, 100% how we
no,
want.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're
It's a
right. But
happy-go-lucky
again,
show.
no.
But
But
no, I didn't come
again,
on here.
but
I already picked up the Aces when it happened. I already talked positive about all that shit in real time when it was going on. I come on this show and spit the real shit.
and I'm glad and I'm
This ain't
thankful that you
Barney.
do.
This ain't happy
I'm
time.
I ain't wearing purple. I ain't wearing purple today, so you can't get that one off. But but no, but again, if we want to the point of it, my point was we could just kept the high of the positive. I'm totally great. I'm totally good with you bringing up the transparency of the other shit. But I think what I described from my point of view, I don't know about anybody else, is I didn't hear about Kelsey Plum on the podcast because wasn't looking for Kelsey Plum on a podcast.
Right. That's not your
I
thing.
watched so I don't know about that negativity. I knew about the commissioner getting booed because every commissioner gets booed.
No.
You just heard. I know you watched it because I don't watch that shit no more. You just heard people screaming "fuck Triple H" behind his back at the press conference. They get booed. You the top. You the H and white C of these companies. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get booed. That's
They
just gonna
The
happen. That's
boss is
not
always
negative.
going to
That's
get booed,
standard.
bro. The
That's
boss
they
is
just.
always
weren't
That's
going to
gonna
get
do
just.
that.
booed.
They
That's
weren't
standard
He's the
gonna boo
operating
that
boss.
woman.
procedure in my book.
It comes
They
with the
booed that.
title.
They booed
Yeah.
that woman because of what direct connection to what Collier said in that
Hey,
interview.
it
Okay.
sounds
Everything.
like there was truth in it.
And all
Sounds
I'm
like there
saying
was
is
truth.
this: the booing of the commissioner, okay, we can set aside. But I'm saying Kelsey Plum doing that podcast at that time is kind of ignorant. It was kind of like trying to take some shine. I don't care what you say. She could do that podcast at any time. She's always welcome to do any show, any podcast she wanted to. She was trying to put some negativity on the fact that she left the team and they was about to win the championship, and she felt a little salty, and so she tried to throw some salt in the game. And that's not unity, bro. That's kind of fucked
And
up.
she lost, and
And
she lost,
and I
and the
think
Aces still won.
and I
That's all.
think it's also
Yeah, that's wild.
Jamal, you know what I think this is, Jamal, because
no.
I definitely I want to move on from this. You know what I think
No,
this
let me.
is,
No, I
because
got
he
one more
keeps
thing to say though.
okay, say it, and then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Also, the league does dumb stuff that shoots itself in the foot. We already had the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark discussion debate. It's been going on for a long time. They always talk about race debates in this league and all this and all that. And then to have Aaliyah Boston not be on the second team for Paige Beckers, who was a rookie, who Aaliyah played better than, and who did not even her team was last place in the league, bro. And Aaliyah's team was one
You're
overtime
in the
win away from
conference
being in the
finals.
WNBA
Yep.
finals. For them to not put Aaliyah on that team and to put Paige Beckers on that team, it's like, come on, that's a dumbass, fucked up decision to do
That's
right
on the
now.
league, right? That's
It
on
is,
the
but
league, though, right?
But it's on the league.
Who
But
votes
don't
that?
say
Who
nothing
votes
bad
that?
about the commissioner.
I'm just saying the league is
Right, right.
because of the point they're making dumbass decisions that's affecting how people feel about their league. And Paige Beckers being chosen over Leah Boston is another prime example of
Who
stupidity.
votes
Who
that?
votes for it? That's all I'm saying. Who votes for those players? Is it the writers, like some of the other leagues, or is it the players, or is it the league
It's like
plus?
a combination platter,
Mhm.
but still, like I wouldn't have let that fly. It's no elite. To Paige Beckers wouldn't have been on the ballot.
So yeah. So I'll say this. I'll say this. So I think that is a fight, or that's a topic that Aaliyah Boston needs to bring up if she wants to bring it up. Because remember, she's a player, and do you want to dog out another player? Or do you want to just go back to the grind, even though you had a better season? Because how many times did somebody win like a MLB MVP over Aaron Judge or somebody like that,
How
or
many
somebody else
times
who
did
might
Kobe
have deserved it,
Bryant get
right?
passed up for MVP?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
When he
Steve Nash
probably
got it.
could have won
no.
As my
multiple more
father
than he
just
did.
said,
Yeah.
1,000.
But
Yeah.
here's
All of them.
the difference in Kobe
He
Bryant.
said all of them.
The
All of them.
years that Kobe Bryant got passed up for MVP that I feel were egregious was Tim Duncan won it 1 year when Kobe Bryant had better stats. Steve Nash won it twice when Kobe Bryant was clearly the best player in the NBA. Those 2 years, Steve Nash won it. And then Dirk won it the 1 year. But I didn't have no problem with it because the Lakers as a team stank. So I didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah,
But now you're
that makes
Right.
giving
sense.
an
That's a
accolade
good,
to
that's a
a
good point.
person.
Listen,
But now you gave
Joel
an accolade
Embiid
to
tried for his
hold on,
MVP.
hold
Joel
on, but they gave
Embiid
an
literally
accolade.
whined his way to his MVP,
Yeah,
Oh
but they
my
gave an
gosh.
and he's
accolade
never
to a
got
player.
past the second round.
Since when have they given accolades to a player who was on a team that stinks? And that's what they just did. That's what the
Yeah.
WNBA just did.
It happens all the
It
time.
happens all the
That's
There's
time,
it.
but
always somebody from a shit
I
team that
mean,
makes the All-Star team.
That's not
the,
that's
yeah,
nothing.
the one thing,
An All-Star is an accolade.
the
That's
one thing that
that's
I
not
always look at is like you go back to A-Rod when he was on the Texas Rangers, right? And I think one of those years he won an MVP, and they were like the last in their division, one of the worst teams in the whole league, but he won solely because he got 60 home runs or something crazy like that year. Like that's the only reason. And I'm like, okay, how is he the MVP, the most valuable player, not the league's best player, but the most valuable player on your team? So to your point, yeah, Aaliyah Boston, she should have been on that second team over Paige Beckers, or at least third team if they have that, whatever it is. but it happens all the time. You always get somebody who's a great player on a trash team, and they give them, they give them the accolades. I don't know why. Maybe they need to change the voting process, just like the NFL. Maybe they should, or whatever, or the MLB. I can't remember, but maybe they should have more players actually vote on who's going to be a Hall of Famer or All-Star or MVP, whatever it is, compared to the process right now with just writers who are just, sort of old pissy. So I don't know.
Bias on top of that.
It's hard.
Super bias.
Yeah,
Jamal,
but
what I was gonna really try to say was Tyrone kept mentioning Kelsey Plum. He kept. I think he was mad because his boo disgraced the league in bad timing for him. That's his girl, and he was a little upset that she showed her panties at the wrong time for him.
Oh man, Ty.
Hey, she
Tell him
shouldn't
how
have
you
never
really
left the
feel,
Aces in
Ty.
the first place. She shouldn't have left the Aces in the first place.
But Jared mentioned the Yankees real quick. I don't even
Oh.
want to really spend time on this.
I
TJ
cried
Jamal,
tears.
y'all. I didn't cry. I cried. Thank you for getting the exit that you did. This is your curse of honoring a fucking podcaster, and this is your curse of hosting the fucking Cheeto in charge in your locker room.
Yeah.
That's on the management though. That's not on the players, bro.
That's
not
That's on
fine.
the
players, but yeah.
organization.
That's
on the
fine.
That's
owner.
on the
It's
organization.
on the organization. It's on the players are part of the organization as a whole. I wanted to see the curse live on just because of that. That was me, and I'm a Yankee fan. That niggas actually
Yeah.
had me saying, "Wait,
They
I should
lost
maybe
because
start
they
rooting."
couldn't
Nah, I
hit.
could never root for the Mets.
I didn't
But
want.
yeah, no.
I'm
I
glad
would-
because I didn't want another finals where I would have to watch Judge strike out on balls like I watched him do last
Oh
time.
my gosh. Oh my God.
What a
Judge
business
and
player,
Rice.
man. Yeah.
Judge and Rice. They were
Yeah.
swinging at
Yeah, that
air.
was bad. Yeah,
Oh,
But from
that was bad.
one New
Whatever.
York situation to another, as I put in the show description, former Philadelphia Eagle backup quarterback became a Pokemon because he was being an asshole. Like I said, Pokemon.
Oh, that's messed up.
Gotta stab them all.
That's jacked
But
up.
nah, what was it? Word
Oh.
was like he was all drunk or whatever, out of his mind or whatever, and got into an argument with like a truck driver or something. Got into a
Mr.
fight.
Fred.
Is that the
It was a
word?
food delivery driver. Like what?
Mr. Fred, 70-year-old man.
But you know
Old
what's my
people, man.
problem? My problem is that it was over where the man was parked at. But they said it was in an alleyway on the side of the hotel. So you ain't parked there neither. So you're not even arguing because you want the spot.
Mhm.
He was just being like the hotel police and going and telling this man, hey, you can't park here. This is not a parking zone or whatever. And dude was like, I'm dropping off food. Get the fuck out of here. My goodness.
Mhm.
Like how you become a court? How you become a cop
That-
and you drunk?
That man,
Yeah.
that's
But-
that Henny brave. That's
Hey,
that Henny. Henny got
yo.
his heart. You know what I'm saying?
Anything can happen.
You got-
That old man said,
Anything's
I laced him.
impossible.
But that old man said I pepper sprayed him, and he still kept coming. So he said I had to pull out my Joan.
And didn't he poke him again once he got up and got off
No,
him?
he gave him like
Wow.
6 of them.
He gave him some more for the road.
And we made the jokes. It ain't really a laughing matter when somebody gets poked up like that. But I think that insult to injury is the fact that he got arrested from the hospital bed because we found out he was the provoker in all of this shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was him. Yeah. Yeah.
You know
That's wild, man.
And you know why he's going to end up going? He's going to get everything that's coming for him, legally wise, is because I read the report, and in the police report, when they asked him what happened to him, he did not even know why he got stabbed. So the police said that he don't remember. He doesn't recollect why he was stabbed, which means he has no counter story to anything that man said.
Yeah. No. At that
So
point,
he
it's
can't
too late.
even- He can't
That's
even
that
dispute.
EJ.
He can't even dispute the story at this point because in the police report, he told the police he does not recollect what happened. So now later on, he ain't going to miraculously get it back. So he's got to accept whatever that man said.
He go
Yeah, that's
he
true.
gonna go in the
Yeah,
courtroom
and-
with the eyes so boom. See what had happened was,
Yeah. And the
and
crazy
then
thing
if you
is,
lucky, if you got a New York judge, if you got a New York judge, they'll be like, so go on. All of a sudden, with the eye, boom.
no,
Okay,
that's in
Jack.
Minnesota too. So hopefully he didn't do anything bad to Minnesota while he played, whatever it is. But like in this day and age, there are cameras on everything. I tell my kids all the time, there's cameras everywhere. So even if you think you're doing something and nobody see it, somebody gonna see it, or some camera's gonna catch it, right? Or somebody's
Yeah.
gonna film it. So there is likely some kind of footage of what happened. This man minding his own business. Yeah, maybe he did park in a place that is not like a real parking space, or maybe it's the space he always and these delivery drivers always park in for a second just to drop some food off. But what right did the Sanchez have, to come up to him and say, hey, you shouldn't be parking here. But on video, it should
I
show
had to
that he
put
was
my wife
drunk.
on stage real quick.
Oh, sorry about
I'm
that.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not ignoring her. We're doing the show.
Yeah. So what right did he have to do that? But on the video, it would show that he's drunk. It would show that he was not minding his own business. Show that he was the one who escalated it, and it showed that the old guy was the one who was just protecting himself. And yeah, he tried non-lethal first, right? He tried to pepper spray him. It didn't work.
He's
So what's
not
next?
lethal first. I
What's
like
next?
that.
I got to take out my pokey poke. So got to catch them all.
The report said that after Sanchez got up,
the old man said he wasn't going to. You ain't just going to put hands on me, dog. You're just not going to put hands on me.
He said Sanchez got up and he thought it was over, and he came at him again. He said he had to give him another one. And then my man said he left him in the dumpster on some pallets, like trashed him in the dumpster. After that. So you can imagine a man getting shanked up and still being able to trash you?
Like Jamal said, Mr. George hit him with the old school, said, I catch ass. I catch it.
He's all right now.
Yo, this dude lost to a man. This dude lost to a man who's clearly 20 to 30 years older than him. He lost a fight to a man that's clearly 20 to 30 years old. His senior.
Wait.
On top.
Wait, is that a loss?
You know what I'm saying?
If I'm judging the fight, I'm saying Sanchez won that fight. This man pepper sprayed him and shanked him like 6 times, and he still beat that old man's ass. He still beat his ass.
I mean, I guess the part that he won is the fact that he's still alive. I guess that.
Right.
But I don't know about the rest of it. He got pieced up.
Yeah.
He got pieced up.
Yeah.
That old man walked away from that. Sanchez
that's the win.
Was laid out on the pallet.
Yeah.
That's the W.
No, Sanchez walked away. The old man was the one who was laid out in the dumpster. Sanchez walked away from the fight.
Yeah, he did. I actually, the only video that I seen put out was Sanchez walking around the corner of a building, but you could see the soaked spots all over his shirt.
Walked away
from that's right. Yeah, he was.
The old man was found laid out in the dumpster of pallet.
Oh, okay.
That's all right, but I still say that's okay. There's still a W. The only holes he's walking away with is in his nostrils, his ears, his mouth, and his booty hole, and maybe his pee hole. That's the only hole. He didn't get no extra piercings.
He ain't got no extra holes. He ain't got no extra holes.
Now y'all not
no whistle.
that?
He can't whistle while he twerks.
Here's the career false moment. He brought up a man's pee hole and booty hole. Nobody said no.
Well, he can't whistle while he twerks. So Mark Sanchez can in the jail cell at that. Because again, hey, consequences. I mean, we laugh, we joke because this shit sounds funny, but I mean, I don't, I only wish that level of bad on people I dislike.
Now here's the crazy part though. That
real quick,
the man is allowed to file a lawsuit against Fox because Mark Sanchez was there for work and he was working for Fox. And the man thinks that if Fox knew that he had a drinking problem, that he should have had security and somebody monitoring him while he was for work. And it's legit. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna
More,
go through with that lawsuit.
more
Yeah.
lawsuits against Fox. They
I'm
they
Yeah.
trying,
already like
He's gonna
pay.
get his
They
money.
already like paying out. So good.
Yeah.
That's it.
but that's crazy.
Yep.
What are you gonna
I
say,
mean,
TJ? Real quick, you said.
Penn State just fired their head coach, their
Black
football
does?
coach, for the terrible losses that they took this year already.
I mean,
No more,
he
no
can't be
more,
the
no
ranked
more
team,
key, no more Keegan Michael Key freaking impersonations.
right? No, he can't beat a highly ranked team in the moments that he needed to. I mean, they have had several opportunities over the past few years to be the Big Ten's representative, either in that Big Ten championship game or in the playoff or whatever version of the playoff there is, but they just can't beat Ohio State or they just can't beat Michigan or whoever it is, in the moments when
Right.
it matters. So it's unfortunate that
They
another
can't win a
black
big
coach,
game.
lost his job, but he wasn't performing. But the problem is, when it comes to firing the coach can scheme up, the coach can teach, the coach can, sort of like, strategize, but the coach can't execute on the field because
Play
he's a
the
coach. So really,
Yeah.
there
right.
probably should be some more people leaving as well as some of those players, but you can't fire a college player. You can just tell them that you're
Right.
probably not going to be starting next year. So
Hmm.
it's
Just tell them you lose your NIL money. They might want to play after that.
right.
oh my
Exactly.
God,
That should be the threat. You ain't gonna get that. You ain't gonna get that that $50,000 check after this game. So you better play better. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
That's the whole
But to
thing too.
to 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 close us out, because I don't remember if we had anything else. But TJ, there was something about Jim Jones you wanted to discuss.
Oh, this dude Ty, right? His reels come on my page every day, right? So I watch them because they're funny. So this dude said, he said it was easier to be in jail than to be outside free and struggling. He said, yo, you get 3 meals a day. You know where you're going to be at. You got a roof over your head. If you out here struggling, you're trying to find a way to make it happen, you know what I'm saying, then, it's worse than being in jail. And I was like, hell to the no. There's no way freedom is better than being locked up and somebody telling you what time you got to go to bed, what time you got to wake up, what time you got to take a shower, what time you get to go outside, what time you got to come back inside, what time you got to eat. All those things. It just don't, and you constantly looking over your shoulder because you don't know who you got beef with, who don't like you, who don't want to be around you. All this other, there's no way. I'll struggle to the day I die, but I'm not going to do what you can go to jail and struggle too. That's the worst. You don't want to struggle while you in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
there's
free
no
on the street,
there's
free
no
on the street
equivalent.
struggle.
There's no equivalent to that.
no.
Yeah,
Free on
there's
the
no
street,
equivalent to
free
that.
on the street struggle. I would say it's definitely better than prison struggle. But I had to look it up because Tyrone typed in the group chat saying Jim Jones song. It wasn't a song. It was a conversation I seen
I ain't mean
between
to say
Joe
something.
and yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. But it was a conversation between Joe and Jimmy. And when I seen it, it was just like I understood what he was getting at because because it's like the struggle of where am I gonna get the money to pay these bills? In prison, you ain't paying bills unless you paying bills for your for your freedom or your livelihood of your pause, your booty hole, second mention on the show. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like if you paying for those type of struggles and stuff, you just mentioned the whole you gotta look over your shoulder. There's cats that are free every day, TJ, that are consistently looking over their shoulder the same way. It's one of those things that kind of mirrors,
True,
and
true.
I think it's
But
it's
it's
just
just
a
you're not in the
you just have
you know what? You can look over your shoulder on the street, but in jail, they know where you are.
Yeah.
right, and
You
and
know
on
where
the
they are in
street
jail.
you look over your shoulder on the street, you can easily cross the street. In prison, you can't just cross the street.
Or you
You
could
might be stuck in a
you
cell with your eye.
in prison, you can't run in another person's cell. you can't run into another selling hide. You know what I'm saying? You can't,
right.
Find a place to disappear in the yard.
But my mind, like my mind personally, Jamal, was like excuse me. It was like it was running to comparison scenarios, and it's like, yo, yeah, I'm taking free life over prison life all day. But the struggles of free life, it ain't easy.
When when TJ came at me about it, I literally said I understand because I lived it, and I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. I was living in a home with my wife who had become a drug addict. Like she became a drug addict, and so now I have 4 daughters and a wife at home, and I was scared to go to work some days. I would come home from work some days. My wife be going 3 or 4 days. I didn't know where she was at. Things like that was happening. And then she would come home and she would be on her, when she was ready to be on her binges, and I wasn't giving her no cash. So I would put gas in the car. I would buy her cigarettes. I would pay the bills. I never gave this woman no cash. So when she was out of money, she was very volatile. It was bad, bro. Every day I came home not wondering what was going on in my house. Every day I came home trying to like figure out what's for dinner for these kids. Was their mom home? Was they home? Was homework done? Is the laundry done? Do my kids have clean clothes and stuff like that? So my life became a 24-hour thing of turmoil. Like I was doing construction, I couldn't even go to bed because my wife would come in at 3 a.m. and wake the house up and do crazy things. So my life was going crazy at the time, right? And she finally got a restraining order against me that got me kicked out of my home, and that was the last straw. I went berserk on those cops, got a beat down, got arrested, went to prison. And when I lied to you not, that first month I spent in prison was way better than the previous year that I had going to work and being home with my children and my wife. I just was in there. I was chilling. I had my thoughts. I could sleep. I could eat. And I had nowhere. I didn't have no choice but to worry about. I couldn't worry about the kids. Couldn't worry about the bills. I couldn't worry about none of that because it was nothing I could do. So I was in that prison for the first month I was in there, dude. I had the best peace that I've had in years. I was chilling, and then actually under those circumstances, being in prison was easier than my regular everyday life, to the point where when I went to court, I pled guilty and told them I'm just going to do the 6 months. I didn't even try to fight it because I was so comfortable in there and so wooside at that time that I didn't even want to get out, bro. I didn't want to get out.
Man. That's why it's amazing to hear that story because, you obviously had a very, difficult situation you were dealing with, and it was so stressful and it was just grating on your life that you went to a place that people like me, I've never been to prison. Thank God. I have friends and family that have gone, but I've never been there. But, I look at it from a standpoint of like, why would I want to go there and have my freedom and my life stripped away from me? But also I step back and look at your perspective and say, okay, I haven't had the same type of, chaos around me that you have. So for you, obviously that was a very, like, I guess a Zen, quote unquote, time frame in your life for you where you could really just sort of refresh your life and be away from all the stuff that was really taking your life down. It's crazy, man, to think about it like that. And so to what TJ was saying earlier, I would not want to do what Jim Jones said. Hey, go to prison because you have everything, you need, and you could just, just sort of chill. Just because, like I said, I haven't had that situation. Anybody I know that have gone there, they've had a bad situation, or they were put there, they were framed and put there. We'll say it like that. But I can see what your point is too. Like that was a good time in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to say that, but it makes sense too.
It's weird to say that, but also you could have gotten into trouble while you were in there. Let's not mistake that something could have happened while you were in there to extend your stay or make it even worse than what you wanted to be in there for. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's just how life is. Sometimes it could have been bad.
1,000%.
I got to sit down and like actually sit down, dude. I got to sit down and not have nobody.
You got to clear your head.
I got to go in that cell and sit down and not have a kid crying, not have a kid begging me for money, not having nobody ask me what's for dinner or what time I got to get up, not having to go outside and look for my wife or wonder where she at or make phone calls, not having to worry about the police knocking on my door and all kinds of shit. I just got to sit down and get my thoughts together to think. I got a lot of sleep because I was sleep deprived like a motherfucker. I got a lot of sleep. And like I said, it didn't last long. At the end of that couple of months, I was like, okay, man, look, my kids are still out there. I got to get the fuck out. But for that first month that I was in there, dude, that was some of the most quiet. That was some of the time where I really could think, process, and just chill, bro. And like I said, I was minding my business. Nobody bothered me. Now, yeah, there could have been a situation in there. There could have been a problem there. I was fortunate that it wasn't. But all I'm saying is I can understand what Jim Jones was saying, where like sometimes prison is a peaceful outlet from what you got going on in your life.
And that's what I was leading to agree with. Is like, yo, like it's a perspective thing. It's all perspective. Cause I'm sure like if you hit 6 months and a day, you'd have been like, all right, nigga, I gotta go. Like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this shit ain't it no more. You know what I'm saying? And when you said your story, it made me think about, yeah, I spent a total of 10 hours in a holding cell. And nah, if I had to do more, I would have probably lost my shit. And it was just holding cell, running information upstate shit, you know, okay, you're free to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know. This is why I used to always say, I watch Lockup for a reason. I used to watch Lockup for a reason because I want to know the place that I'm never going to go. But then again, perspective wise, like he said, like you was going through some of the worst that made you say, all right, let me appreciate this reset. Where some people don't get that chance at life on a daily basis. And then you get to the point where you get like me, and you get to where you're considering unaliving yourself. Or you get like people, rest in peace to Kyron Lacey, which is another situation we didn't talk about yet.
Yeah,
but rest in peace to Kyron Lacey. Some people, the world eats at their heads so much that they do the ultimate. And it's sad. So the argument that Jim and Joe, like it just hits different from people who have the money and have the capital to live that perception wise live the life that they want. But Big said it, more money, more problems. And a lot of people with money have the ultimate problems in the world. Sometimes you can't buy your way out of a a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I
no
would
matter
like
how
to
free you are.
out though.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I would
So
like
would
to
I.
buy
So
there just more money, more problems.
so would I. So would
You know
I.
what I mean? They should do. Why
Please
don't they
stay.
do
I
a
mean,
study on that?
Jamal is earning his money on this show as we speak. So I
Listen,
understand.
I only know I don't have nothing to compare it to. I only know free life, so I'm a roll with that.
So, listen, I'm not proud of it. I've done a couple of weekends, and that ain't. I mean, when they serve you a meal and the meat is opaque, like you can see through it. You know what I'm saying?
Brown paper bag shit.
You're not. Yeah, like
here's a sandwich and a quart of juice.
Your whole bathroom situation changes. It's just. I was like, yo, it snaps you to reality very immediately. This is not what you want to do or where you want to be at all with your life. You know what I'm saying? Listen, respect to you, Ty, and what you had to go through. I don't wish that on anybody. But man, I
can't
say that. I wish that on some people.
Well,
I mean, having a drug addict crash out that you are fully 100% responsible for is
it's tough
work, bro.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. That's tough. Hands down, that's tough.
And to get it, and you know what else? You know what else my mindset was? I got a break that I couldn't be held responsible for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I would have walked away, if I would have left and said, fuck it, I'm leaving, everybody would say, oh, you left your wife and kids, you fucked up, you supposed to come home for blah, blah, blah. But in prison, it's like, look, I was arrested. I don't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, the easy cop out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. You got the easy cop out. It's like nobody can call me to say nothing bad about me. Hey, Tyrone's locked up. He cannot do anything right now.
Listen, no windows and no concept of time. I remember I went to sleep and I woke up and only 15 minutes had passed. I was like, Jesus Christ, this ain't. I thought 2 hours had passed. It was only 15 minutes, bro. I was like, nah, this is crazy.
That's wild.
No, I
This
just
is crazy.
4 hours felt like 4 days. No lie.
Yeah, man. That's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's a little crazy. And then we had a dude. We was in a holding cell going to see the judge, and there's this dude yelling. Right, he's like sitting 2-3 people away from me, yelling, "I can't wait to go back. I'm gonna fuck that CO." I'm like, "Yo, chill, bro. What are you talking about? I'm not with you."
Like I can't wait. I can't wait.
TJ felt like,
I was like, yo,
if he talks any louder, they're gonna take me with him.
Right?
I'm like, I hope you know he's speaking for himself, right? Like nobody.
I was so sleep deprived when I got in there that I went straight coma, bro. I went straight coma. I might have been asleep for 3 days straight. That joint. I was cold. I got in the bed and I ain't hear nothing. No screaming, no babies, no nothing. Dude.
Yeah.
For the first 3 days, I was probably asleep. I ain't even gonna lie. Just knocked out.
Wow.
Freddie would have killed my black ass for sure.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man, that shit is tough. That's just tough.
It is, but it's a, like I say, it's a conversation of perspective. Like, yeah, I like the perspective of being up and being able to go where I need to. You know what I'm saying? But within that, like, you know, there's we can't front like there isn't everyday struggles in life that there's struggles. Tyrone just described it. Like there's struggles that surpass sitting in a cell, eating bad food. And maybe worried about a shanking or getting attacked by a gang or being forced to join the side, like shit like that. Like no, like you gotta you know we got the struggles. Well, y'all heard my struggles. I had the struggles of I gotta work for an asshole. Do I want to go put myself in prison because I want to go attack said asshole? Shit like that. Like is it what person is gonna make my day go bad? I gotta manage how many people in a shift. There could be always that one. Like we have our different struggles. It's just a matter of perspective and which you choose. And it is always funny to hear people who've never been to prison talk like they know prison life. Just because we may have known people in prison or like me, just watch Lockup, that don't mean we know that shit.
No, it's
that
different
don't mean
when
we
you're
know
there.
That shit.
It's different when you're there. It's like anything else. It's different. You can talk all you want, but if you've never experienced it, you really have no parameter or say on how it actually is or how you're gonna react once you're there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you don't know how you're gonna react once you're there.
I'll tell y'all something else crazy, right? When I first started hustling with my sister, you know, you always know that when you're dealing drugs or you're out here in the streets, that there's a chance that you will end up in prison, right? You already know that, right? So I was watching Oz and I was watching all these prison shows, and that shit kind of freaked me out to the point where, like, dude, I would literally get in my bathtub shower time and practice kicking the soap up so I can catch it. So that I wouldn't, if I dropped it in the shower, I wouldn't have to bend over to pick it up.
Come on.
So I literally
That's crazy.
So I learned how to kick a bar of soap off the edge of the tub and have it shoot up in the air so I can catch it in my hand.
Oh my God.
And then he got there and realized, wait, there ain't no tubs.
And I got there. You can shower by yourself in prison. You don't have to shower with other people. You know? And I also know that you go to the far shower so that when Bubba come in, you can see him before he get all the way down to you, and you know what's up.
It's that Bubba.
Oh, Jesus, Lord, save the children.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's.
On that note,
that's
on that note, unless we got something else, we could lock this show up. Oh man, Jared, as always, yo, you already know, you can come on every single weekend if you need.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I'm saying?
sure.
Oh man, and great news, Puka Nakul went out, but he's back in the game. from a foot injury. He's been the fantasy fucking superstar this year.
He
But
on
yeah,
your
anyway,
fantasy team? Is he on your
yep, he's
fantasy
on
team?
one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
He's on one of
He's
them.
good.
But
Another
Jared,
yet
you know what to
another
do.
player
You know
that
what
I
to
want
do.
the Giants to pick up, but they decided not to draft him. All these
I
guys,
think
all these
everyone. I think everybody in hindsight wants him now.
yeah. He was he played here in Utah at BYU. So I mean, I don't follow that team, but I at least, follow the players for the to go to the next level. So I was like, he'll be a good player. But hey, you know what? It's whatever, man. When I look at the draft, I say, okay, here's the players that I want my team to draft, right? A lot of them that I'm either fans with because I'm fans of their schools or I'm fan of their game, or I just know that they could play there. Yeah, when it comes around to the Giants pick, they're like John Michael Schmitz. I'm like, who? So
Yeah. Let me ask you
anyway,
this. Let me ask you this, Jared, because you watch
Right,
college football
white man number
like that.
20.
right.
So what are you seeing that these scouts don't see, or like what management is thinking? Because like it doesn't make the math doesn't add
The
up.
math doesn't matter. Yeah,
Like
I don't know, man. Yeah, I look at a couple things personally, and I mean I'm not a football pro, but I played it,
But some of these
back
picks
in the
are
day.
common
But
sense, though.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it
It's just
does, it
like,
does. Yeah, you're right, you're right. To skip over on certain people and then draft some random dude like Corey Black from Oklahoma State who was not good. Like, come on, man. But no, I'll say this, man. I'll look at it like this. I see the player in big games. I see them playing on the field, on the field against other players in those big moments, and I see them shine. Just like Scatterboo, right? I saw him play earlier in the season, several
right,
times, but then also I saw him in that moment against Texas, like Jamal was talking about earlier, and like he came to play that day, and he played against
right,
like everybody on the Texas team for the majority of their defense was going to be drafted or had that potential, and he showed out.
right.
So I look at it like that. I'm like, okay, you can draft people for traits, quote unquote, which is what Joe Shane says. Traits is cool, but also traits could give you Theo Johnson, who right now, who knows what he's going to be. He has the
Right.
traits to be a beast, but he
Jamarcus
looks
Russell.
slow on the
Right.
field. He
Yeah,
looks
man.
lost
Mhm.
sometimes. And you have Daniel Bellinger who never dropped a pass in college, right? And so he's your
Right.
second guy. So I'm like, all right, what are you looking at? Traits is good, but also you want somebody that's going to be a star. Like when Jameis came out, Jameis had everything, right? He was a star in college. He played well, won a national championship, all that stuff. That's the type of guy you draft. You don't just draft a random dude just because he has traits over another
He
guy
even brought
who
crab
started
leg.
on the field and has the traits.
That's fucked up. Leave
Right.
that boy alone.
It just.
What he say? What he say? What he say?
He bought
He
crab
said,
I
legs.
said,
Right?
He bought
It
crab
goes
legs.
back to
Hey,
Jamarcus Russell. One of the scouts that drafted him said that, Jamarcus Russell at one of the practices I was at threw a 40-yard pass on his knees or something. That arm strip is outrageous and all that shit. And I'm just
great.
like, okay. But what did he do when he got to the NFL? Like, this man couldn't read his defense, didn't understand football at all.
Yeah, no.
It's
Nah.
like they throw all that shit out the window, though. It's like they throw all this other stuff out the window. And like you said, Jared, when they're shining in a big game against their peers who are equal or better than them, on let's say the defensive side of the ball, these guys are first of all, they're D1, 5-star top collegiate,
top athletes.
and this man is shining against them, and he's making them look like, yo, who's this kid that's putting in work against these caliber type players? It automatically should be a green flag to show you, like, hey, this guy stepped up for his team when he needed to on the biggest moment, on the biggest stage, on the biggest platform against some of the country's best players.
Absolutely. It could be.
He should be able to do the same thing in a pro level.
Yeah, it could turn out. It could turn out that you have. It could. I'm sorry, man. It could turn out that you have. Somebody who was like, I don't know, just somebody who was amazing in college that comes to the pros and is horrible,
He's a
right?
dud.
But more times than not, if you get a guy like that is shining against the best players in those moments, not just saying like he's a great player during the year, but like when he gets to that stage, they're not supposed to win, and he is just running over people. That's the guy that you draft because you're like, all right, I'm gonna take a chance because he showed he could do
Right.
it against all these other, first and second round picks. Why not?
A lot of the times it's just about the person who shows to want it more.
Yeah.
Really,
In
like
the
you
draft
can
room, you mean?
no, on the field is what I
Okay,
mean,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
this is what a Cam Scatterbull kind of displays is
yeah.
he displays the person who actually wants it more than the next person because
Mhm,
some people and I got to use the choice words from work last night when we was talking about some of these junior guys who again I got people that my daughters are older than some of the time on the job that some of these guys have. They come on with the sense of entitlement. So
mhm.
it goes to the
Yes.
scouts said you were a 4-star, 5-star. The scouts told you this. You were Mr. Football in your state. You was told
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. So you think you get to these leagues and this shit's supposed to kind of be handed to you. Why
Mhm.
are all these people all of a sudden playing faster than me and yada yada yada?
Yeah.
But then you get the guy from Division 2, freaking North Dakota State Central Universe,
Jerry
and
Rice.
that's right.
Yeah,
And
you're right. Yeah.
then,
Middle, yeah.
excuse me,
Mississippi Valley.
shit.
Yeah.
And you get that one person who is just like, nah, I'm just gonna beat the brakes off of you.
Mhm.
I'm going to be
So
better than you, and that's it.
here's a perfect example. I met a guy who played D1. He played for Syracuse. He was a cornerback, right? And he was one of the few people that got drafted out of the Bronx. I'm not drafted out. I mean, went from the Bronx to a D1 school. Usually, we don't get kids like that.
Mhm.
So he said when he got there, and he finally saw the people around him, and he's like running a 4.3. They was like, we all run 4.3s. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah,
saw these linemen, defensive guys. These guys were 6'6", 6'7", 340 pounds, and they were like linemen, and they were moving. Like it was a culture shock to him because he thought that you were the best in my area, that nobody could fucking hold a candle to you. Then when you're on the same stage with these other people, they're the best in their area too. Like
Mhm.
you're just, and then when you get to the pro level, you're getting the best of the
They're
best.
all the
Like
best.
you
Yeah.
guys,
and
yeah,
that's the
everybody's
difference.
good.
And that's the
Everybody's
and
good
that's the
here.
difference in pro sports and college sports and things like that. Because
Mhm.
yeah, it goes just to what you said. You are the standout, the lone standout in your city, your borough, whatever.
Mhm.
You taking all challengers in your spot. But you got to now remember all of these schools are recruiting players who are on your level or higher.
Yup.
So then
Right.
you step
Right.
in, and now you're amongst people who are on your level. Now
Mhm.
you really got to show who you are. And then you just happen to be a standout there, and then you make it, like you just said, you make it to any of these leagues out here. All of those people went through some of the same trials and tribulations that you did
Right.
and
Exactly.
are just as
Exactly.
good or better. So this is
Wow.
why
Listen,
I'll say all that to say that the draft is just the ultimate crapshoot.
Mhm.
It's a crapshoot because, like
listen. Just
Tyrone
because you
mentioned, Jamarcus
because
Russell. Remember, Ryan Leaf was supposed to be that guy. Also,
right,
was
right,
supposed to be.
right. Listen,
Yeah.
because just because you're killing at your local Y and the rec league, don't mean you're gonna drop 50 in the league, bro. You just
Yeah.
it just doesn't translate. It
Yeah.
just
And
doesn't
It's
and
true.
translate.
on that note,
And
word to Brian Scalabrine. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done.
That's funny.
Jared, as always, man,
Yeah.
you're welcome. You know what to do.
Yeah, for
Final
sure.
shout
Thank
out
you.
time.
Thank you so much for the time. I definitely appreciate it, y'all. And yeah, man, like I said before, props to y'all for always shouting out and representing. I sent over I messaged Dan earlier. I sent over a new link for y'all to be able to use that starting five um, uh, uh, in your, I guess, in your checkout. be able to get the 20% off. So yeah, you
Yeah,
should be able to use
I'll go
that. Go
on and
to
fix that later today.
yeah. Go
If
to
you didn't do it already.
yeah, for sure. Go to www.hooksrub.com, HOOKSRUB.com. And yeah, man, tinker around there, find yourself some flavor. New product dropping October 23rd. That's my birthday, so it's gonna be fun. And I've had fun making it and also tasting it. Stuff is hot. Shout out to my cousin Jay, the other half of the hashtag Blackout Podcast. He did the label for that. But yeah, hop on the website. Find some flavor, find some merch. I'm wearing this Giants color invited to the cookout shirt that we make. So yeah, get invited to the cookout. I had to bring that on today because out of all the times that I have an opportunity to talk good about my Giants, this is like the only time that I've had a chance to in a while, especially with y'all. But yeah, I appreciate the time. Yeah, shout out to my cousin Jay and hashtag Blackout Podcast. Follow that on Instagram, but follow at HooksRub on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all the other places. And then yeah, shout out to my brother and sister. We have a small little company we're trying to get off the ground called Seva Clothing, TSEVA Clothing. It's a faith-based clothing company, so y'all can check that out too. But yeah, man, thank y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah, go Giants. Hopefully you don't crap the bed next week against the Broncos.
Just please, please warn anybody from Utah if they buy that shirt. It's a pass from the company. Just present yourself properly, and then you might get the authentic. You're gonna get the authentic merch.
Yeah,
but the true
as long
one
as
is
they
the
don't
full
show up.
acceptance.
Yeah, as long as they don't show up to the cookout with potato salad with raisins in it, they're gonna be okay.
or them funeral potatoes, you said?
Yeah. Funeral potatoes with raisins. No, don't do that. Show up with the good stuff, or just bring plates and ice. That's fine.
Ty.
Another good show.
Thank you.
I appreciate coming on here. I appreciate when the guests actually show up, and I like having guests. You weren't on my team too much today, but we'll work on that next time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But I also like to see Black people in his space. Creating your own thing and doing it and sticking with it and rocking out with that. That's like a lot of people, man. They don't get the opportunity to be the boss and to create something that they can call their own, and also like for a good cause too, like for the allergies and all that I didn't know, which makes it even more great. So I appreciate you for just being who you are and doing that. And shout out to O, who's in Ghana right now, probably eating some gold or something. I don't know, whatever meat he got going on. But shout out to
getting all the spices out there for sure.
Yeah, man.
The legit stuff out there.
And that's it. Jamal, what's up?
Yo, shout out to everybody, anybody who commented or listened today. Jared, appreciate you having me on, man. Come back again. Shout out to Lisper, TJ, Mayor, Big O in the motherland, in the family. We're gonna do peace to Ishtar, peace to disabled planets, peace to ill magic, peace to Hooks Rub. TJ.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jared, appreciate you coming out, brother. Always good to see you. Welcome back anytime. Listen, you're in a great space, man. I mean, anytime when you start with mayonnaise as your base, you're gonna do well, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do well. Keep doing your thing, brother. I'm here. Shout out to everybody in the comments listening. Ty, Jamal, the mayor, of course. Another great show, good laughs, good conversation. Looking forward to next week.
Right. And I had to jump in the car because, as my wife commented, yeah, I got to head up to the Bronx to go pick them up. So, yeah, y'all already know. 20% off your order using that code STARTING5. I'm going to make sure I work on that to get that revamped and running again a little later today. And with that being said, peace. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace out.